What's good and what's poppin' YouTube? My name is Kene and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get a very simple, very easy half cut crease look. So if you want to learn how to do that, keep watching and be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow all of my social medias located in the comment box below. Now without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright guys, so I just finished my eyebrows and you can find my eyebrow tutorial beginner friendly in my last video on my channel. But now I'm going to be going in and showing you guys how to do the cut crease. And so what you want to do is you want to start with a concealer that is actually maybe like 2 to 3 shades lighter than you. So as you guys might know, I use the color Fawn. But today I'm actually going to be using medium beige, which is a lot more lighter than me. Alright guys, so I thought that I was recording, but luckily I realized early enough that I wasn't. So I'm going to continue on this eye until we get back to where we were with this one. So I started with applying the concealer all over my lid area, keeping it centered on my lid. So not going too much near the eyebrows. Now you want to use a concealer brush to start buffing out the edges. Be sure to keep it centered on your lid. And I'm doing a patting motion in order to really smooth it all out. I'm going to talk more about the brushes in a bit, but now you want to take the eyeshadow brush and blend the concealer out evenly all over your lid. So the next step after you put the concealer on and blended it out would be to take a translucent powder. So as you guys know, I used this Wet n Wild Photofocus translucent powder in my last video, and you can still use this for this video. But today, since I finally got all of my makeup back from college, I'm going to be taking the Sacha Buttercup translucent powder, y'all, and this is a holy grail. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's $25, but when I tell you every cent was worth it. The brush I will be using with the translucent powder is the Wet n Wild blender brush, and this is very cheap at your local drugstore. And I used this in my last eyebrow tutorial video, so this right here is a staple. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer with the same brush that I just used to blend out my concealer, and you want to tap off the excess like so. You want to just pat it on there until you see the powder kind of disappear into the concealer. So you just want to keep patting it on there, and that'll really create a very smooth base for you. And we're here. So now I'm going to get into the eyeshadow. So for the eyeshadow, I'm going to be using just one shade for my lid and then one shade just to blend it all out, because like I said, this is very beginner friendly. I'm also going to be using some very chill neutral colors. The palette that I'm going to be using today is the Morphe 350 M palette, and this is basically just a palette filled with a whole lot of browns, and I definitely think this is a very, very good beginner palette. I think this is actually the first palette that I bought because someone recommended it to me and I use her. I love her. So today the first shade that I'm going to be using is this, hold on, I'm going to be using this brown shade right here at the top, and I'm going to be taking the BH Cosmetics blender brush. This was in a brush set that I got a little while back. You can also just use your Wet n Wild blender brush too. You can really use this brush again, maybe just wipe it off and then continue on. And so I'm going to be taking this shade and I'm going to be applying that all around the crease area of my eye. And so we're going to go ahead and start applying it. This is like a burnt orange-ish brown shade for anyone who may already have some colors and wants to try out this look. And this is the color we're getting. Just a really, really pretty color. And I'm just gonna tap that all around. I'm not gonna drag it because I found that to be a better blending technique for me. And you really just want to tap that until you really see those colors start to blend out. This is really just something you'll have to eye and just look, and just to the point where you think that it looks blended, really is what it is. So I just go in with a little more color because this is the only color I'm going to be using before we get into carving out our cut crease. You just want to go in, pat it out, and grab my color and repeat as many times as you would like to. You can slowly start to work your way up. Make sure to not apply the color too high up. You really want to keep it in this crease area, and you can kind of see the line that makes the crease area. You really want to keep it there, and then slowly blend up because you don't want it all in that eyebrow. Okay, and you can also take another brush and continue to blend that out if you do not want to use the same brush. So I'm going to take this Anastasia Beverly's Hills brush. It comes in pretty much all of their palettes. I'm just gonna blend that, and I really do love this blending brush, guys. It's definitely an investment, especially if you decide to get the whole palette, but it really just blends that bad boy out. This is where I stopped with the other eye, so I might just keep going on this eye just because. So now we're gonna start cutting out our crease. So this is kind of the preparation for it, and now we're actually gonna get into it. And guys, I do have a trick, so if you're thinking that you might not be able to do this, or you looked at the thumbnail and was like, this seems kind of hard, I got you. I do got you. So first, again, you want to go back and grab your concealer brush, your flat concealer brush, and you want to grab your concealer. And so for this step, you can either use that same base shade that you use, so maybe the one that was like 2 to 3 shades lighter than your skin color, or you can use a white concealer. I like to choose my color depending on the color I'm putting on my lid. So today I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to use maybe like a goldish, orangish color. And so I feel like the brown is usually a better color for that, versus if you're gonna go in with like a really bright color, like a pink or like a blue, or any like color that's like really, really bright and you want it to really, really show up, you would use white. But I'm gonna use the brown today. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that. So you're gonna put a bit of concealer right in the center of your eye, so right above where your eyeball sits. You want to put it right there. And when you're doing a cut crease, you want to make sure you look down, because you don't want to mess it up by looking all up at the ceiling and stuff like that. So you want to take a lot of concealer and put it in the middle right here. And now what you want to do is you want to look all the way up at the ceiling, and then just look, like basically kind of roll your eyes. And you're going to see why I do that. So I'm going to do that right now. All the way up and just follow, and you see that. So now you see that, oh, I got concealer right up there, and so that, guys, was on purpose. So now you kind of know where the cut crease is supposed to stop, which is right up there. And so now what you want to do is take some more concealer, and you have to start from the outer part and trace it all the way up there. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to be doing a half cut crease. There's many different types of cut creases that you can do, but I'm going to do a half cut crease. So we're going to draw this out, and just kind of want to eyeball it. You want to make sure you can see. You want to hold your mirror down, and I found that to be a lot easier, so you can really see what you're doing, and just kind of tap it out just like that. You want to connect it so it reaches that part up there, maybe even start there and work it back. And I'm just kind of like going back and filling in to really get that cut crease. And guys, I'm taking my time because I do not want to mess this up. So yeah, you kind of just want to take that and really drag it. And you guys can kind of see that as I'm looking straight at you, you can still see that cut crease, which is how it should look. You don't want the cut crease to get lost in it, which is why the line kind of came so high, because that's your natural crease. So I kind of have that part down, and then I'm going to kind of finish it out by patting it, because like I said, I want this to be a half cut crease, and I'm going to wipe a little bit of concealer off the brush so it can start to blend out accordingly. So you don't want too much concealer on there as you start to blend it out. So I'm gonna be kind of dragging it, kind of blending. Now I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of pat it out, because I think that'll do the trick a lot better. I'm switching fingers as more concealer gets on one. And there we go. And then I'm just gonna finish making sure that this is even as well, like that. Y'all see how she blends? It's just kind of like eyeballing it. As you can see, I'm tapping it again because I see that, oh, that's not all the way blended how I want it to. Yeah, you just want to make sure that this curve is perfect. And that is that cut crease. Y'all see how sharp that is? That's exactly how yours should look. Like that. So then you want to take your blending brush that you use to apply the base color and kind of buff that back out over this cut crease so that you can really get the half cut crease feel. And next, you want to now choose the shade that you want to go on your lid. I'm going to be using this. I'm just going to take an orange shade from the palette, this one right here. Again, this is going to be very neutral. And to put on that shade, I'm going to be using this like carver brush. I'm not really sure the name. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen, and it is an e.l.f. brush, the white version as well, which means that this one is cheaper, so it's probably only $1. So all you do is apply that color all over the lid, and make sure you're careful not to smudge or mess up the cut crease line that you just drew. You want to keep that line very sharp. And as you guys can see, I caught up with the other eye because of, you know, my camera difficulties. But yeah, we're just really patting that color on, and I just kept getting more orange and patting it on until it was where I wanted it to be. And I was just checking out how it was looking. I'm gonna add a wing because that's my business. So we're wrapping this look up, and I'm just wiping off the excess. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to follow all of my social media accounts located in the comment section down below. See you guys in the next video.